What is going on, Red Devils fans? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is the Red Devils Report, where we give you everything Manchester United, no filler, no fluff. Today we have got a seriously packed episode. The Leão rumours have absolutely exploded, and we are going to tell you everything we know about the price, the competition, and whether United can actually pull this one off. Then we're moving into the midfield rebuild because the Baleba situation is heating up again, and there are some names on this radar that might genuinely surprise you. Smash the like button if you're ready. Let's get into it. Right. Rafael Leao, let's start with why United want him, because I think some fans are still sleeping on just how good this player is. Since he joined AC Milan back in 2019, this man has racked up 80 goals and 65 assists across 7 seasons. He's only 26 years old. He can play as a left winger, which is probably his best position, but crucially he can also play as a number 9. That versatility is massive for any manager trying to build a flexible front line. His profile, pace that genuinely troubles elite defenders, dribbling that makes him near impossible to contain in one-on-one situations, and a level of passing creativity that you just don't see from many wide forwards. Multiple outlets have described him as, quote, one of the best wingers in Europe. That is not an exaggeration. So why does this make sense for United specifically? Think about what United have right now. They've brought in Benjamin Sesko, who is a quality striker, no question, but Sesko needs competition. He needs someone around him who can push him and who can step in when form dips or injuries hit. Leão gives you exactly that. Someone who can play off a striker or lead the line himself. That's an incredibly useful weapon in a 3-4-3 or a 4-3-3 system. And with Wilcox and Vivell actively hunting attacking options ahead of next season, the Daily Mail's report that United are genuinely interested feels credible. This isn't just an agent fishing for a contract. There is real intent here. But here is where it gets complicated, and I don't want to oversell this because the obstacles are real. Number 1, the price. Leão is reportedly available for around £60 million. Now, in isolation, that's not an insane number for a player of his calibre, especially when you consider United spent over £200 million last window on Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko. £60 million for a winger of this quality is actually not terrible value, but it's still £60 million. And United aren't the only club who know that. The competition for his signature is frankly daunting. Liverpool are watching him, Manchester City are watching him, and arguably the most dangerous suitor, Real Madrid, are in the picture. Now you tell me, if you are Rafael Leão and Real Madrid come calling, how many Premier League clubs are you choosing over them? Not many. That is the cold hard reality United are facing. And then there's the World Cup factor. The report makes it clear that United and any other interested party will want to get this deal done before the tournament begins, and the reason is obvious. If Leão goes to the World Cup and absolutely tears it up for Portugal, Milan's asking price goes through the roof. We have seen this happen before with other players. Clubs get impatient, demand spikes, and what was a £60 million deal suddenly becomes a £100 million negotiation. So the clock is ticking. And United need to move with purpose if they're serious about this one. 2 other things worth flagging while we're in this part of the window. United are also being linked with Tottenham defender Micky van de Ven, so reinforcements at the back are on the agenda too. And West Ham midfielder Matheus Fernandes is reportedly being monitored as the club looks to bring in 2 midfield players. We'll get deeper into the midfield situation in a moment because there is a lot to unpack there. But for now, on Leão, I genuinely believe United are in this race. Whether they win it, that depends on how aggressive they're willing to be and how quickly they move. 60 million done before the World Cup, before Real Madrid puts their full weight behind a bid. That's the window. Don't miss it. All right, let's talk about the midfield, because this might actually be the most important part of United's summer, and I don't think it's getting anywhere near enough attention. Here is the situation United are facing going into the window. Casemiro is gone at the end of the season. That's essentially confirmed. Manuel Ugarte has failed to convince, and co-owner Jim Ratcliffe is reportedly of the view that he should be sold. The Uruguayan has been linked with both Juventus and Ajax, so there is a market for him. If that deal gets done, United could be looking at needing not one, not two, but potentially three central midfield players this summer. That is a serious rebuild. So who is the main target? Well, the name that keeps coming up and has been coming up for the better part of a year is Carlos Baleba from Brighton. Baleba is 22 years old. He's Cameroonian and he has been on United's radar for a long time now. Earlier this season, when United were working out their priorities after the big summer splurge, they actually shelved their pursuit. They'd already spent over 200 million. It just wasn't the moment. But now, with Casemiro leaving and Ugarte likely following, the situation has changed dramatically. Here's the really interesting detail from The Athletic's reporting. United are believed to have already broadly agreed personal terms with Baleba from their earlier interest. So the player relationship is potentially already there. The obstacle is the clubs. Brighton want £100 million for him. Let that sink in, 100 million. They compare it to the Moises Caicedo deal, what Chelsea paid in 2023. During last summer's window, United were reportedly willing to go as high as 75 million. Now, they apparently don't want to go beyond 50 million. So you've got a gap of £50 million between what Brighton want and what United will pay. That is a chasm. That is not a negotiation. That's a standoff. Now, does that mean it's dead? Not necessarily. Brighton know the market. They know that 50 million for a 22-year-old central midfielder who has personal terms already agreed with a club like Manchester United is not nothing. But they also know their leverage. And unless United blink, or unless other circumstances change, and like a lack of alternative offers for Baleba, this one could drag on all summer. Here's why Baleba makes so much sense, though, and why this feels like more than just a rumour. Kobbie Mainoo. Since Michael Carrick came in and started working with Mainoo directly, the kid has been revitalised. He's been one of the standout performers in United's remarkable run of form. The run that has taken them from 7th to 3rd in the table. Mainoo is clearly the midfield foundation. He's the future of this club in that position. What he needs next to him is someone who complements his style, someone with the physicality and the intensity to win the ball, a midfielder who can do the dirty work, press aggressively and transition quickly. Baleba at his best fits that profile. He's energetic, he's combative, he's young. He and Mainoo could be an elite partnership for the next decade at Old Trafford. That's the vision, and that's why United keep coming back to this name. Now, United aren't just looking at Baleba. The report also mentions Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace, Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest, and Newcastle's pair of Sandro Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes. Look, all four of those players are genuinely quality options. But the caveat is obvious. None of them will come cheap. Tonali and Bruno in particular would cost enormous sums from a Newcastle side that does not need to sell. Wharton has been brilliant this season, and Palace will drive a hard bargain. Anderson is raw but has serious potential. United need 2 central midfielders minimum, potentially 3 if Ugarte goes. That means the transfer budget has to be allocated very carefully, which makes the gap with Brighton on Baleba all the more frustrating, because if you can't land your number one target at a fair price, the alternatives add up quickly. And then there's the West Ham link. Matheus Fernandes being monitored. He's a different profile, a more dynamic, box-to-box type, and United watching him suggests they're genuinely exploring every avenue. No deal imminent there as far as we know, but it's another name in the mix. Before we go, I want to address the elephant in the room, because everything we've talked about today has a huge asterisk hanging over it. Michael Carrick has done a genuinely remarkable job since taking charge. United were 7th, they are now 3rd. The performances have been better, the energy around the club is better, and players like Mainoo look transformed. That is real. That is undeniable. But the club is reportedly still undecided on whether Carrick is the right long-term appointment. They plan to reach their verdict at the end of the season, and that verdict matters enormously for everything we've been talking about today, because players like Leão, players like Baleba, they will want to know who the manager is before committing. No elite player signs for a club without knowing the project, and right now United can't give them that certainty. This is arguably the most important decision the club will make this summer. Get it right and the transfers follow. Get it wrong or drag it out too long and the window gets harder by the day. I know what I'd do. But that conversation deserves its own video, and trust me, it's coming. Alright, that is everything for today's Red Devils report. To summarise what we covered, Leão is a genuine target. 60 million stiff competition, World Cup deadline pressure. Baleba is back on the table. Personal terms potentially there, but a £50 million gulf between the clubs. And the midfield rebuild is going to define United's next 2 to 3 seasons. If you made it this far, thank you genuinely. Drop a comment below. Do you want Leão? Do you think United can close the gap on Baleba? Let me know where you stand. Like the video if it helped. Subscribe if you haven't already. We are posting multiple times a week as this window heats up, and I will see you in the next one.